Hi, I'm Olivia. Welcome to class. Let's start. Just come to a comfortable seated position. So I'm sitting on my heels, but you don't need to. You could be sat on a chair. You could be sat cross-legged on the floor. Bring your arms down by your side. Keeping your arms just dangling, lift your shoulders right up towards your ears. Keep your shoulders lifted up. Now try and squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. Keep them squeezing towards each other. Draw them all the way down, past where you started, as low down as they can go. Hold that for a moment and then relax. Let's do that again. Lift your shoulders way up. Keep them up. Squeeze shoulder blades towards each other. Keep them squeezed. Draw them all the way down. Hold there for a moment, maybe an inhale into your chest. And then release. Great. Give your shoulders a wiggle. Now, if you're not there already, come to sit on your bum with your legs out in front of you like this and your knees bent. Let's cross your left arm in front of your body. So the back of your forearm or the back of your hand, the back of your wrist, somewhere lands on your opposite leg. Now with this arm, I want you to start to push against your leg, but make your leg solid and strong so your leg doesn't move. So you can't tell that anything's just happened in my body, but this is the action I want you to be creating in yours. Keeping your legs and arms where they are, I'm just showing you what the action is. Imagine with your arms, you're trying to sweep your legs out of the way. So your leg is pressing against your arm and your arm is pressing against your leg. And maintain that. Now that same arm, that shoulder blade, try and draw your shoulder blade a little bit more down your back and a little bit in towards your spine. So almost like this pushing action from your arms is coming from right up where the back of your shoulder sits on your rib cage. Take a breath in like that. As you breathe out, release. Pups come to join us. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Cross your other arm over. The back of your arm, just whichever part lands on your opposite leg. Use your other hand to help you sit up tall. And then with that arm that's in front of you, start to press against your leg and with your leg resist. So it's like my arm is trying to do that, but my legs are solid and legs are just giving a bit of resistance for my arm and my shoulder to work against. Okay, now staying in that same position, try and slide your shoulder blade a bit more down your back away from your ears and a little bit in towards your spine. Take a breath in there. As you breathe out, release. Great, maybe give your shoulders a wiggle. And then come to hands and knees. And from that position, instead of hands on the floor, now bring your elbows down onto the floor. Flip your palms to face the ceiling. So when I look down at my arms, it's like my forearms are making a number 11 shape. Walk your knees back a little bit, so your shoulders are slightly behind your elbows. And then bend your elbows so that your forearms and your hands pick up off the floor. Okay. Now, in this position, if you look at your arms and they're coming together like a pyramid shape, all I want you to do is try and make your forearms parallel with each other. If parallel is where you started from, then now I want you to try and take your hands apart. So instead of making a capital 11 shape, your forearms are making almost a V shape. And if you're like, oh, this is surprisingly hard work, don't worry, that's how it feels for me too. So if you feel anything working, maybe around the backs of your shoulders, upper arms, some people might feel this around chest, perhaps in the sides of your ribs, anywhere there, all good. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, relax your arms. Shift back up to hands and knees again. And you can be flat on your palms or you can be on your fists if that's more comfortable. Start to dip your spine towards the floor and draw your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. And then push the floor away, Round spine up towards the ceiling, so shoulder blades broaden apart. Great. Dip your spine towards the floor, shoulder blades draw towards each other. And then round spine up to ceiling, shoulder blades broaden apart. Let's keep doing that. And then notice also that you can feel yourself breathing. And you might start to breathe in time with your movement. So I don't mind if you inhale as you're traveling towards the floor, or if you inhale as you're traveling towards the ceiling. Either way, whichever one feels most natural for you. And then next time you end up with your spine rounding up towards the ceiling, pause like that. And with your hands, imagine you're trying to pull the mat apart. So your right hand is pulling towards the right side of the room, and your left hand is pulling towards the left side of the room. Great, take one more breath in like that. As you breathe out, relax that effort, and lower down to lie on your front. Reach your arms back alongside your body. And let's start with your palms facing in towards your sides. So, your palms are facing in, and your thumbs are facing the floor. And then this doesn't have to be high, just a little motion will get it. Lift your legs, your chest, and your arms away from the floor. Then just like we practiced at the beginning, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other on your back, and then try and slide them down your back away from your ears. If you're craning your neck to look forwards, instead of doing that, just tuck your chin a little bit so the back of your neck feels long. Take an inhale there. As you exhale, release. Lower down and rest. So you might rest your forehead on your hands. You might perhaps turn your face to one side. I'm going to stay propped up just so my microphone doesn't rub against the floor. And then as you were lying there on your front, notice that you can feel yourself breathing. And where do you feel that the most? Is it in your back, your belly, your sides, your ribs? Is it maybe in your nose, your throat? Then we're going to do that same thing again, but add in just a little bit of extra something for your shoulders. Reach your arms back alongside you. Palms face in. Lift your arms, legs, and chest away from the floor. Keep that just very slight tuck of your chin. Doesn't have to be low, just a little bit. Shoulders slide away from your ears and draw towards each other on your back. Keep doing that. Now also start to turn your palms to face the floor and keep on trying to turn your arms until they stop. So you might find that your palms stop facing the floor. You might find that your palms turn all the way out to the sides of the room. Take a breath in. Breath out, release. Lower down and rest. Maybe if you turned your face to one side, last time you were resting, you might turn it to the other side this time. Count 2 slow breaths, just where you are lying on the floor. And then when you're done with that, plant your hands under your shoulders. As you're ready, push up to all fours. And then tuck your toes under. We're going to keep a little bend in your knees. Send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So you might find it tempting to straighten your legs so that your shoulders shift more forwards over your wrists. Instead of doing that, keep knees a little bit bent, push the floor away and try and send your hips up and back. So it's like you're trying to make a pyramid shape and your bum or your tailbone is the top of the pyramid. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, walk your feet to your hands. So you end up in a standing forward fold, which just means bending over. It's really hard to do that with your hands flat on the floor, so you probably want to let your hands lift at some point. And then just what we were just doing lying on your front, we're going to do the same thing standing. So start to slide your hands up the fronts of your legs, but instead of rounding your spine up towards the ceiling, pull your chest forwards, have a slight bend in your knees and stick your bum out behind you. And then pause when you start to feel just a bit of effort in your back to hold you up. Reach your arms back alongside your body, palms face inwards. Slide your shoulders away from your ears and squeeze them towards each other on your back. Notice how that feels in your shoulders. And then next time you exhale, relax and just dangle forwards. You might perhaps sway a little bit side to side while you're here. Then just like we did lying on your front, we're going to add that just extra turn in your arms into what we just did. So run your hands up the front, so your legs again. Pull your chest forward, stick your bum out behind you. Reach your arms back alongside you, palms face in. Shoulder blades draw away from your ears and squeeze a bit towards each other. Then start to turn your palms to face the floor and keep on turning them until they stop. So you started with your palms facing inwards, and then you turn towards the floor and then maybe out. Then next time you exhale, bow forwards again. On an inhale, come all the way up to stand. Sweep your arms either forwards or out to the side and then all the way up overhead. On an exhale, bring your palms together and your thumbs to your chest. Okay, great. Let's step your left foot back into a lunge position. So I'm back on my tiptoes. If this is a bit much, you just shorten your stride until it feels okay. And then bring your arms down by your side and bend your elbows, palms facing up, like you were perhaps holding like a tray. Shrug your shoulders down your back like we practiced before. Squeeze your elbows in by your side. I'm going to turn towards you just because it's easier to see what I'm doing for my arms in that position, but you stay in your lunge. Squeeze your elbows in, and then keeping your arms pressing in by your sides. Now start to rotate your upper arms so that your hands travel apart. Remember, like we did when you had your elbows on the floor. You will find that you would be able to take your hands wider if you let your elbows move away from your sides. I don't want you to do that. I want you to keep your elbows squeezing in. So we're going to come in and out of this position. As you inhale, bring your forearms parallel again. As you exhale, take hands wide. Inhale, forearms parallel. Exhale, take them wide. One more time. Inhale, forearms parallel. Exhale, take them wide. Hold there for an extra inhale. As you exhale, put your hands on your hips and step forwards. Great, something similar on the other side. So now step your right foot back to tiptoes. So you're in a lunge, as long or as short as you like, with left leg forwards. Bring your arms down by your sides. Bend your elbows again, palms face up. Shrug your shoulders down your back. Squeeze your elbows in by your side. This time we're going to come into that position and then just hold it. So keep hugging your arms in by your side. Start to rotate your upper arms so your forearms, your hands travel apart. It's like you're trying to point behind you with your thumbs. And then when you get to your maximum, just hold it there. As you inhale, breathe up into your chest. As you exhale, thumbs try and point just a little bit further back. Great, take a breath in there. As you breathe out, put hands to hips and step forwards. Great, just like we did at the beginning. Lift your shoulders way up, keep them lifted, squeeze them together on your back, keep them squeezed, draw them all the way down, and then give your shoulders a wriggle. Okay, great. Step your left foot back to tiptoes again. So we're back in that lunge position. This time we're going to add a little bit of balance to it. Bring your arms down by your side. Shrug your shoulders down your back, turn your palms to face forwards. Take a breath in here, take your fingers just a little bit back. Try and keep that feeling in your chest. As you breathe out, lean forwards and play around with whether you could step onto your front leg. So you might find you need to shorten your stride a bit first before you lift back foot. It might be that your back foot's just coming off the floor for a second. If it feels okay to lift it and send it straight back, all good. And then from here, we'll just end up standing on both feet again. So take a breath in, breath out, bring your top foot down to meet your standing foot. Okay, we're going to keep working by standing on that same right leg. So your left leg, bend it, bring your heel towards your bum. Now either reach back, catch hold of your foot so that your palm is facing inwards. And then from that position, I'm going to come closer to the camera so you can see what I'm doing. From that position, swivel the heel of your hand around your toes so you're holding onto the inside. Or if you're like, I don't think my arm is long enough to catch my leg, that's okay. You just bend your knee, reach your arm back, and then turn your palm to face out. Either way, reach your other arm forwards and up. If you start to wobble, you just bring both feet down. Otherwise, 2 breaths here. As you inhale, lift your chest up. As you exhale, kick your leg up and back. One more breath in if possible. Breath out, both feet down. Great. Give your legs a shake if they need. Give shoulders a wiggle if they need. If you've just been holding your breath, now start to breathe again. And we'll do all that same stuff on the other side. So step your right foot back to tiptoes. Shrug your shoulders down your back. Stretch down with your fingertips, turn your palms to face forwards, and then just a little bit, reach slightly back, like your fingers are trying to point towards your back foot. Feel how that kind of lifts and broadens your chest. If possible, we're going to try and keep hold of that feeling. Inhale here. Exhale, tilt forwards a bit, maybe shorten your stride a little, see if possibly back foot can come off the floor. If that all feels like it's going okay, maybe both legs straighten, top foot's reaching back. And then if you haven't already, bring your top foot down to meet your standing foot. Okay, shift your weight onto your left foot again. Bend your right knee, bring your heel towards your bum. That same thing. So either just reach your arm back, palm face in, and then turn your palm to face out. Or reach back, palm face in, catch your foot, and then swivel your hand around your toes so you're holding onto the inside. Either way, reach your other arm forwards and up. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, kick your leg up and back. Again, inhale here. Exhale, release. Both feet down. Nice. Give your legs a shake. Maybe feet will wiggle. If maybe feet feel like they've been working a bit, if they're not used to you standing on just one at a time. Okay. The next time you inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bend your knees a little, fold down towards your legs. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins, pull your chest way forwards like we practiced before. Exhale, fold down towards legs again. Remember, bend your knees if you prefer. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach arms overhead. Exhale, bring palms together and thumbs to chest. Inhale, reach to ceiling. We're going to add to that this time. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, pull torso forwards. Exhale, fingertips down. Step your right foot back to a lunge. And then step left foot back to join it, downward facing dog. So pause here, try and keep breathing. So slight bend in your knees. You're pushing the floor away, sending your hips up and back. Then next time you inhale, shift forwards to plank position. As you exhale, drop your knees, lower down to lie on your front. Reach both arms back alongside you, palms face in. Inhale, lift arms, legs, chest up. Exhale, lower back down. Let's do that one more time and then we'll rest. When you're ready, lift arms, legs, chest up, palms face in. And then turn your palms to face the floor, and then they turn to face out. And then lower down and rest. Same as you were doing the last time we were lying on your front. Notice that when you lie on your belly, and say the floor is restricting your belly from being able to move, where do you feel the movement of your breath the most? And then slowly make your way to lying on your back. So come to lie down with your knees bent. Bring your right knee into your chest. Catch it with your hands. Straighten your left leg along the floor. And you might just gently rock that top knee side to side. That feels like it's just pressing different parts of your back into the floor. You could maybe sit with it. If there's one position that's more comfy than the other, then you just hold when you get to that comfy place. Then keep your left hand on your knee. Either take your right arm out wide if you've got space, or maybe kind of out wide but elbow bent, or you might go arm overhead, whichever feels more comfortable. Take your top knee just a tiny bit over to the left. Then now, kind of like we did before when you had your arm across your body, when we were sat up at the beginning, instead of having your palm on that top knee, now just flip your hand over so the back of your hand is resting on that knee. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, take your leg all the way over into a twist. So the right side of your bum is lifted up off the floor. Now with the back of your hand, gently press down against your leg, but with your leg, press back up against your hand. Then if your right shoulder is really lifted off the floor in a way that feels uncomfortable, see if maybe you can adjust the position of your arm. So if it's overhead, you might take it more out wide, or you could just not twist so far. So not take your leg so far. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, untwist. And then let's bring your other knee into your chest. So left knee in, right leg straight. Maybe take that knee a little side to side. You might perhaps draw some circles with your leg. Then place your left arm on the floor. So either out wide or by your side or overhead. Take your knee just slightly across your body and then flip your hand so the back of your hand is resting on your leg. And once that's there, take it all the way over. Take an inhale. Exhale, untwist. Come to lie again with your knees bent. And maybe just slightly wiggle your feet a bit wider than your hips and very slightly turn your heels out and your toes in. And see if that allows your knees to knock in and rest comfortably against each other. Then if you've got space and it's comfortable, take your arms out wide. If not, you just take them as low as you need to figure out being comfortable or fitting in your space. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, then you could do that. Just slightly press the back of your head into the floor. And try and wriggle your shoulder blades down your back away from your ears. And then relax onto the floor again. Now just gently pick up your bum. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels, like you're trying to flatten your lower back. And then bring back down onto the floor again. Notice if there's any tension around your neck and shoulders that you could let go of. Notice if you are scrunching up your forehead. If you could relax your eyelids anymore. Notice, are you gritting your teeth? Could you relax the corners of your mouth? If you can feel that area just in between your eyebrows. And allow it to soften and broaden. Then make each of your next 3 breaths progressively deeper than the one before. And whenever you get to your 4th inhale, make that a long one so you fill yourself completely. Hold it in for a moment and then exhale. After that, just breathe normally. Really gently turn your face from one side and then to the other. You might perhaps reach your arms overhead, have a bit of a stretch before we come up. And then when you're ready to, hug your knees into your chest. And make your way up to sit. Either reach your fingertips down towards, or if they touch the floor, put them on the floor. And stretch your arms down, lift your chest up. Maybe drop head gently one side to the other. And then pause with head just centered on top. You could keep your hands where they are, or you could bring them to your lap to finish, or you could bring your palms together at your chest. Your choice. Either way, let's take one more breath together. So as you inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest.